Hello all, how are you? Welcome to my channel. I am Rajivpujala. In this video, we will see how to read multiple values from the sheets to the app script using the for loop. So, in my previous video, we seen that how to read a specific cell from the sheets into the app script. But in this video, we have like names like Rajiv, Mahesh, and Sai. We will see how we can read from here to over there. So basically, whenever we are iterating over the rows, so either we can use a for loop, or we can use while loop, or we can use arrays or dictionaries, arrays or lists. If in case if you're comfortable with Python, so basic or JavaScript, you know what is a list. Both are same, but if you have more data, you prefer to use it arrays more than the list. But ideally, both work same, right? So when you have to use a for loop, so when you know that how many rows are there, for example here in this case I have like 4 rows. So when you already know that how many number of rows are there, you always go with for loop. If you are clear with your data set, like 100 rows or 1000 rows or 10 columns, etc., right? You can go with this one, while loop. While when you have to use the while loop, so you really don't know how many times the loop has to execute. For example, you are running a program and you ask the user like, so if the user enters something like his company name, or a company name like Google or Microsoft, so until they enter a valid company name, it has to run. So it can be, the user may enter like some random values and the system may not accept. And we really don't know how many times the user take to enter the valid company names. So in those scenarios, we have to use the while loops. When you are not sure how many loops your code has to run. Okay, arrays or list, this is really good. So let's assume that you have 10,000 rows and 10,000 rows. And if you use a for loop over here, it takes like ages and ages to go through all the 10,000 rows. Rather than that one, you can use the concept of arrays, and you can find the values inside the arrays. So this is something that I'm going to cover in my upcoming videos. So for now, just remember that arrays or list. And the dictionaries, basically dictionaries has keys and values. What exactly a key, and what exactly a key, and what exactly a value. For example, here if you see here, names, right? So how it will take names Rajiv, okay, and names Mahesh, names Sai. So here names is the key, and Raju is a value. So again, names is a key, Mahesh is a value. Here names is a key, is a value. So dictionary, using dictionary is also good, but let's focus on for loop. And in this cell, we are going to loop all this data using the for loop. Okay, so let's go to the app script, click on extensions and click on app script. So it took you to this window, click on plus sign and choose a script value, script option over here. So read multiple values using for loop. Okay, you can just move it little bit to the right so that you can see. So function read multiple values from a sheet using for loop. You can write as much as you can, that's fine. I'm saving the function here by clicking on this cassette. Okay, so first, as usual, we all know what we have to do. First we have to access this entire spreadsheet. So variable spreadsheet is equal to spreadsheet dot get active spreadsheet, So if you notice, if you're watching all of my previous videos, I'm writing the same code again and again, and then variable sheet is equal to spreadsheet dot, sorry, typos usually happens, dot get sheet by name. It's We have data in the sheet one over here, right? And now, how this app script knows that how many rows are there, I mean how many times it has to loop, we can use the last row function, which we already seen in my previous video. So how to get the last row? So variable last row is equal to sheet dot get last row, right? Let's see, let's console, let's see, logger dot log number of rows in the sheet plus sheet dot get name. So this prints the what is the sheet name that we are in, which prints the sheet one, plus is, so last row. So whenever you're implementing the program, always ensure that whatever you're writing over here, you write everything which should like clear for you, so that whenever you are recalling, going back to the scripts like after like 2 or 3 months, it would be very easy for you to understand like what's been happening over here. Click on run over here. Okay, so the number of rows in the sheet one is 4. So we have four rows. So now we know that how many rows we have to loop through. So we are going to use a for loop. Okay, so if in case if the sheet one exists, so this is the first time we are seeing this for loop for variable. Okay, let's look at this one. So this is the first row. In arrays, the index starts with 0. So this is the 0, this is 1, this is 2. But now we are not talking about the arrays. This is the normal cells. This is like cell 1, cell 2, row 1, row 2. So this is the first one. So the first one, it is a header. So I don't want to loop through this one. So I'm going to start with 2. For variable, I'm taking I as a variable is equal to 2, and until how much number it has to go through. So I less than or equal to 4. I can keep 4 over here. Okay, if I keep 4 here instead of using this last row, just assume that if there are like data until here, and because we're hard coding here 4, it will only loop until 4. So that's the reason I took the last row over here, so which gives the last row. So instead of 4 here, I'm giving last row. Okay, so and then, so it has to start from second, and it has to go into the last row, which is 4. That's the reason we have given like less than or equal to 4, I plus plus. So once it starts with 2, and then it will go, it will check the what is the last row value. It is less than or equal to 2, it is yes, and then it will add 1 plus value here. And then, so okay, logger dot log, let's print the I value. So let's see how it goes. Let's click on run. So it prints like 2, 3, 4, and at the 4 it stopped, right? So this is clear. I'm deleting this one, we don't need this one. Now variable, we have the name is equal to sheet, which has the sheet 1, the sheet dot get range. So here, if you look at this one, everything is in one column, which is the first column, but the rows are changing: second row, third row, fourth row. So that's the reason I'm going to keep I. So what we usually do, row comma column here. So the column here, which we have the data in the first column. So the column is the one, and the row, it is 2, 3. It has to 2. It has to be 3. It has to be 4. So instead of writing like 2 comma 3 comma 4, I'm gonna write I value here. So basically, when it is 2, 2 comma 1. When it is 3, 3 comma 1. When it is a 4 comma 1. Dot get value. Right? We have the names, and now let's print the names. So when I value, okay, name in the row plus I, um, okay, is plus name. Okay, now let's run this one. See, the name in the second row is Rajiv, third one is Mahesh, and fourth one is Sai. It is as easy as that. Thank you for watching this video. Please do watch the rest of my videos, and please do subscribe if you like the content. Thank you for watching and have a good happy learning.